We're back to learning CSS. Let me show you how to create a gradient. We'll start with a basic linear gradient. To make it visible, we'll use once again a div container. I'm going to create a class gradient that I select in the CSS, and I have to give it to the div container. And you use the background minus image property to actually show gradients. We make that a linear minus gradients, and then in brackets we'll add two colors. We can't see it now because we have to give a size to our div container. So let me create a size class here. Select it, and I simply determine width and height. Let's say 300 pixels. And now it should be visible. Here it is. By default it goes from top to bottom, so red at the top, yellow at the bottom. If you want to rotate that, you actually have two options. So the browser understands simple name-coded directions like right, left, bottom, the usual stuff. It understands that. And you can even combine that. So if you want to make it to bottom right before our colors, and now it has this 45-degree angle. I believe it's actually 135 degrees as it goes clockwise and starts at 12 o'clock. But here we can also use the angle value like 90 degrees. Let me try 45. And you can see this goes to the top right. So bottom right would be 135. From my experience, it's better to use degrees. So 0 to 360. Obviously, you can use the hex codes for colors and even the RGB values for colors. This also works. A couple of more things to add. Let us go back to red, yellow, and then I add a third color, blue. And this is how easy you can add more and more colors to your gradient. Let us, for example, create a simple rainbow. We need red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And I make it 90 degrees. So it goes to the right. Let's go back to two colors only, red and yellow. We can also adjust the position of these colors. By default, they both have 50%. We can simply add a percentage value to move that around. So the starting position for red is 0%. So if I go up now, you can see this moves to the right. Whatever you type in here is the starting point of the red color gradient. It feathers out now at 75%, and then yellow gets the rest. Make that 10% for red and 20 for yellow. And you can see that at 20% yellow, the fading stops, and then you only have plain yellow. So this is what these percentage values mean. It's always the start and end point. For this one, 10 and 20%, we can also add a repeating effect. It's not repeat, it's actually repeating minus linear minus gradient. And then you can see this simply gets repeated until the end of our element, our div container. So depending on what positions you type in here, the browser just fills the element if you add repeating to your linear gradient here. Try it out yourself. In the next 2 tutorials for my CSS playlist, I'm going to show you how to create radial and conical gradients as well.